In this video, we'll see how to graph vertical lines from the equation. And the equation of the vertical line will be x equals a number. So for example, it will be x equals 5. What that means is the x value of the equation can be only number 5. What that will create is a vertical line because all the x values on the vertical line are the same. And that will be called x-intercept. X equals 5, the line will go through the x vertically. The line will cross the x-axis. And the slope of this line will be undefined. So when we have a vertical line, the slope is undefined or does not exist. Let's see what the equation would look like. The equation will start with x, and it will be a number involved. So x can be any number, fraction, decimal, whole number, positive, negative. The x can be any number, and that will be called x-intercept, and it will be a point on the x-axis. That is starting point on the graph. So the x will be a number this time. And the slope of a vertical line is undefined, so we are going to have the x-axis and the line will be vertical line crossing the x-axis. Where? Let's say the first example I have x equals -5. So what that means is that x can be only -5 in this situation. So x can only be -5. So in the x column of my value chart, I am going to use -5 for the x. Y can be any number, so any number that I can come up with. Let's say 3, -2, 0, 7. So if I plot these points, now we'll see what shows up on the coordinate plane. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3. -5, and then -2, so we're going to go down, -5, -2, then -5, 0, so -5 and stay on 0. Then we go -5 and then +7, so we go up 7. Every single point has the x coordinate, -5. So when we graph the line, here is your -5 on the x-axis. Every ordered pair had a -5 for x. That was -5, 7. That was -5, 3. That was -5, 0. And that was -5, -2. Vertical line. That's what we state as a conclusion. The line will go vertically through -5, which is going to be called x-intercept because it's x-axis being crossed at -5, and the slope of the vertical line is undefined. Let's see another example. X equals 7. So what that means is that the x can be only 7. So every ordered pair that you can come up with, and how many, it doesn't matter. I pick 4, you can pick more. The y value can be any number that you wish. So pick some random numbers. I'll put -4, 0, 5, and 8. Then I plot the points to see how the line looks like. 7, -4 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for x, and then down for -4. Then I have 7 for x and stay on 0. Then I have 7 for x and 5 for y, positive. Then I have 7 again for x and 8 for y, positive. All these points line up vertically going through 7 on the x-axis. So that constant 7 is going to be called now x-intercept is on x-axis. So when you have x equals 7, that number goes on the x-axis. The line will go vertically through 7 on x-axis because the slope is undefined. What if x equals negative 3? What that means is that a negative 3 has to be on x-axis. So negative 3, starting point on x-axis. X value can be only negative 3 if I was to choose more points. The slope will be undefined, so it will be a vertical line going through negative 3. But let's prove that. If x can be only negative 3 and y can be any number, pick some numbers, let's say negative 7, 8, 4, 0, and plot them to have that confirmation. So negative 3, negative 7, down we go for negative 7. Negative 3 for x, up we go for y, 8. Negative 3 for x, up we go for y, 4. And then negative 3, 0 is my x-intercept. That is my vertical line going through negative 3 with the undefined slope. So we say the line will go vertically through negative 3 on the x-axis because the slope is undefined. The slope is undefined for a vertical line. Let's see how x equals 0 look like. If x can be only 0 and the x has to be on the x-axis, and I have to have a vertical line that should overlap with y. But let's see that happen. By giving yourself a set of examples where x can be 0 only, nothing else, and y can be any number, let's say negative 5, 0, 6, negative 8. We can plot these numbers and see how that vertical line shows up. 0, negative 5, so x 0, y negative 5, 0, 0, 0, 6, x 0, y 6, and 0, negative 8, x 0, stay, and then go y, down negative 8. All those points are lined up vertically, and it is exact overlap with the y-axis. So the line goes through 0 vertically with undefined slope. Let's see a fraction. Changing the fraction to a decimal, because 11/5 is 2 1/5. In other words, if I change the improper fraction to a mixed form, 5 goes into 11 2 times. That takes 10 out of 11, so it's still 1 left over. So it's 2 full squares and 1/5 of a square. Or that can be changed to a decimal, 2.2, if we're using division. So that means 2 full squares and 0.2, or 1/5. When we graph, x can be only 2.2, or 2 1/5. If your point location is fractional, the best is to change it to decimal or mixed form. Y can be any number, let's say 5, 0, 8, 9, just because. And then we plot them. So for x, I have 2.2. That means 2 full squares and a little bit, 1/5 of the square, or 0.2. And then up, staying on that, I have to go 5 units. Then 2.2 for x, again 2 full squares and a little bit, and stay on 0. 2.28 2 full squares and a fifth, or 2.2, and then up 8, staying a little bit past that too. And then 2.29. And here is my vertical lineup, which is slightly to the right of the number 2. And all the points lined up vertically, so we can see that the slope is undefined. And that's what we state in our final conclusion. The line will go vertically through 2.2, or you can say 2/5 or 11/5. I'll say 2.2 on the x-axis because the slope is undefined.